Hello, Richmond County residents. Celeste Gotell coming to you from the Senior Center Without Walls for Richmond County with the November 8th to 15th edition of What's Happening, a weekly calendar of events that is aired 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Talleel. It's a partnership that we have with Talleel to bring information about events and activities of interest to older adults in Richmond County. So let's begin with Saturday, November 8th. If you want to check out the fourth annual indoor yard sale, auction, and bake sale, that's happening from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Lordways Community Center. Or if you happen to be on the island and want to drop in at the Christmas Arts and Craft Market at the New Horizons Club, that goes on from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you're looking for some gift ideas, why not stop in at the Discoos Civic Improvement Hall and check out the Richmond Artist Alliance Art Gallery. That is exhibiting the works of a number of artists that are affiliated with the Richmond Artist Alliance. It's open weekends from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Lots of, I think there's upwards to 16 artists that have work that's displayed there. And it's also by appointment during the week. And that artist gallery is also opening during the time when there's large events happening at the hall as well. So check that out and maybe get a gift idea for Christmas. That brings us to Sunday, the 9th. So let's look at Sunday the 9th. So we have breakfast time at the Sunday Hungry Man's Breakfast in Discoos, and that happens from 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. That's weekly on the second Sunday of every month. The Almadam New Horizons Club in Ayrshire has a cold plate drive happening, and you can go there from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. There's also a silent auction happening at the West Bay District Fire Hall, and that's from 1 to 3 p.m. There's coffee, tea, and desserts happening and some live entertainment. Weekly 45 card game at 2 p.m. at the Terralyn Community Center in River Bourgeois. And that evening, the Almadam New Horizons Seniors Club in Ayrshire has their regular cribbage at 6 p.m. That brings us to Monday, the 10th. So on Monday the 10th, you can drop in at line dancing at the West Bay Community Center. That's a drop-in program from 10 a.m. till noon. And then Sonia Morris has her Pilates Wellness Circle happening at the Royal Canadian Legion in Ayrshire, Branch 150. That goes from 10 a.m. till noon. It's a sliding pay scale, and the Pilates is followed by a bit of a wellness circle with a bit of a social. It's $5 minimum, $10 maximum. There's also the bi-weekly song circle hosted by the St. George's Channel Hall that's happening from 6:30 till about 9. Doors open at about 6. All levels of talent are welcome. It's by donation, and they offer a light lunch. That brings us to the 11th of November, which of course everybody knows is Remembrance Day. And there are Remembrance Day services taking place throughout Richmond County. You might want to check with your local legion to see what's happening in your community. So some of the events have been canceled for that day, but I will mention the Jolly Club Sewing Club happening at 9 a.m. in Lordways. Again, you might want to check out in advance to make sure that it has not been postponed. And there are 2 regular 45 card games that happen in the evenings on Tuesday at the St. George's Channel Hall at 7:30 and the Acadiaville Community Center Hall in West Ayrshire at 7:30. On to Wednesday the 12th. A regular weekly coffee at the St. George's Channel Hall, and that it goes from 10 a.m. till 12 noon. And then the Digital Wellness Richmond Literacy will be happening at the St. Peter's office from 8:30 to 9:45 a.m. That's the only time this week that Arlene will be available to offer the Digital Literacy Wellness Program. She's unavailable for the rest of the week, but I did want to mention that one, and she'll resume her regular schedule next week. So every Wednesday morning between now and Christmas, the Nova Scotia walks with Sonia at Pondville Beach, and that begins at 10 a.m. It's a partnership with Nova Scotia Walks and Sonia Morris, and it's weather permitting. If it's torrential rains, obviously it'll be canceled, but otherwise just dress for the occasion. There will be a caregiver support group from 11 a.m. till 12 noon at the Almadam New Horizons Club in Ayrshire. That was rescheduled from the previous week. You want to call Caregivers Nova Scotia if you'd like to register that at 1-877-488 7390, or get a hold of the New Horizons Club to make some inquiries about it. That morning at the Fleur de Lis Club at the St. Louis Parish Hall, there will be seniors games. They get underway at 10 a.m. and it's followed by a lunch, and bring along your own lunch. And that afternoon, there's line dancing happening at the St. Louis Parish Hall in Louisdale. That's a drop-in, $5, and it goes from 2 to 4 p.m. That afternoon, also, if you want to have a game of 45s, you can drop it at the Almadam New Horizons Seniors Club, and that gets underway at 2 o'clock. That brings us to Thursday the 13th, weekly coffee at the West Bay Community Center, and that goes from 10 a.m. till noon. Walking group happening at the Dr. Kingston Center in Lordways, that's weather permitting, gets underway at around 11 a.m. And then at the Petit de Gras Library at 12 noon, there's the Conversation Club, and this is an opportunity for folks to practice their conversational skills in French. Every Thursday afternoon is the Sewing Handicraft group at the Fire Department in Red Islands. That gets underway at 1 p.m. And then there's a new group getting underway at the Discoos Civic Improvement Hall, beginning at 1 p.m. also, and that is cross stitch. So it's drop in. It starts at 1 p.m. You might want to check that out. The adult drop-in program happening at the St. Peter's Lions Hall. That's every week and from 1 to 4. For more information, you can call Rachel at the Dr. Kingston Center. That evening at 7 p.m., the New Horizons Club has their beanbag toss at 7 in Ayrshire, and there's a 45 card game at the Discoos Civic Improvement Hall that gets underway at 7:30 in Discoos. That brings us to the 14th, which is Friday. Every afternoon at the Petit de Gras Library, there's an informal knitting and crocheting group called Fiber Club, and that happens from 2 to 4 p.m., and it's a drop-in, come as you can kind of group. The fish fry will be happening in Ayrshire at the Legion Branch 150. Gets underway at 4 p.m. and goes till 6:30 p.m. Trivia night at the Rocky Bay Irish Club, and that begins at 7 p.m. and it's in support of the Almadam Small Options Home. Washer toss happening at the Acadiaville Community Center in West Ayrshire, and that gets underway at 7:30 p.m. That brings us to Saturday the 15th to close off the week. And once again, the Richmond Artist Alliance Art Gallery is open at the Discoos Civic Improvement Hall from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's a craft sale happening that day at the Discoos Hall as well from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that is part of the Tyson Bowen Unsung Hero Awards. That's a fundraiser that's held every year in honor of Tyson, who is a young man from our community who this is a fundraiser in his memory. There's a celebration of song featuring Sarah Bennett at the St. Peter's United Church from 2 to 4 p.m. in St. Peter's, and that's $10 admission, and it's cash only. Washer toss happening at the Lordways Legion at 1 p.m. And then at the Legion Branch 150 in Ayrshire, there's a card game, 45 card game happening. Gets underway at 7 p.m. and that's in support of the Poppy Trust Fund. Prizes will be awarded. So that concludes the activities for the week of November 8th to 15th. That's all for now, folks, and I'll see you again sometime soon.